I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Henny.
And you're watching Beers
and Beards.
Our beer of the week this week, it's a treat. Sam Adams. And what we pick up?
Oktoberfest.
This is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Who you got? We go to Sunday. We've got your Dallas Cowboys going to Detroit. Cowboys at Lions, 1 o'clock.
I need them Cowboys to take that win. That's going to be my birthday. The perfect gift the Cowboys could get me is a W on the road in Detroit. Am I partial? Yes. If you ask me again, will I admit it? No. I'm going Dallas and Detroit, and yes, I do think Dez Bryant is better than Megatron.
What? That's insanity. Now this is a close game. I can't argue the pick, but
I know you love Matt Stafford.
I like Stafford. I like Megatron. I'm not gonna lie. I think you guys have a great receiver on your side of the field as well, but he's no Megatron. He's no
physically. I mean, there's nobody that you can't use CGI for that is Megatron. But if we gotta look at it, Dez Bryant.
Dez is great.
Can make all the same plays, I think.
I just don't know. He doesn't have the size. He's got everything else. That's size. True. Maybe more speed, but I still take Megatron, and I'll take the Lions in this one. I don't know why I'm still so big on the Lions. They're a good team, but not a great team. But this is one I think they can get the job done. They're at home. I like those home teams.
Well, I'm going Dallas. Jimmy's going Lions. Who you got?
We'd love to hear. Next up, we've got the Cleveland Browns. They're playing at Kansas City.
They're playing good ball, too.
Yeah, they're playing the undefeated Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs are playing better ball. You know I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, I'm going to reserve my comments about Andy Reid and them burgers. But I will tell y'all, I think the Chiefs are going to win this one. Jimmy, who you got?
I got the Chiefs. They're the only undefeated team in football.
Yeah.
They don't get enough respect. I respect them here. I'm certainly going to take them over the Browns.
Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement for this. But if you like the Browns this game, you should let us know. That way, at about 4 o'clock, we could tweet you back and laugh at your pick. So let us know who you got.
Stand up, Browns fans. Miami Dolphins going to New England to take on the Patriots. Who you got?
Patriots at home.
Coming off a tough loss, one that stings.
No, I was just saying, that's who I got. The Patriots at home. The Patriots ain't going to never be home, and I'm not going to call him. Bill Belichick is a friggin' genius. And Brady, come on now. Tom Terrific, we already know what's going on with that. I'm going Patriots. Jimmy, who you got?
We both take the Pats. What about you? You tell us who you got. And we're going to fast forward to a game that might not be all that hard to pick. We've got the Buffalo Bills taking on the New Orleans Saints.
Who's Buffalo starting this week? Is it Tebow?
I don't.
No Tebow?
Too much baggage.
Still no Tebow.
Still no Tebow. Too much baggage.
Well, if they ain't got that, boy, then I'm going with the New Orleans Saints, man. And I don't think it's a hard one to pick like you said.
Saints all the way. NFC East matchup coming up next. And we've got the New York Giants, who are no longer winless.
But still scrubby.
And still scrubby. And they're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, who are licking their wounds after a loss to the Cowboys.
Man, what a wonderful loss it was. What did I say? Foles was going to fold? I used to say get used to the name Matt Barkley, but I don't think they're going to have to no more. I think if Vic's playing, which right now I think is kind of sketchy, but I think he might be playing, I'm going with the Eagles, man. They're going to be at home. They're going to be coming off of that loss from the Cowboys. They're probably still pissed about that. And another division game against the 1-6 Giants? Come on now. I'm going with Philly, even though I hate Philly. But I hate the Giants too.
I like these home teams.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on at quarterback in Philly and the Giants.
I don't think Chip Kelly knows what's going on at quarterback in Philly.
I'm not arguing. The Giants, maybe they remembered how to win football games. They can't be as bad as what we saw earlier in the season. I'm going to take the road team here. I'm going to take the Giants in Philadelphia.
You're going with Philly?
No.
I mean, no. My bad. I'm going Philly.
You're going Philly. I'm going Giants.
Sam Adams talking. I'm going with Philly. You're going with the Giants. Who you got?
Here's a tough one. All right, here's a tough one.
Oh, man. I've been pacing back and forth all day about this game right here, guys.
San Francisco at Jacksonville.
And you know Jacksonville has been so incredibly terrible this season. Who isn't going San Fran?
No one in their right mind.
Is it going to be that hard of a pick this week for you? I know last week we almost had to call the medics in because you almost, passed it out. Taking the 49ers.
I learned my lesson. I can't say it. If I dance around and I don't say it, I'm good. So I won't make that mistake again. I can't take the Jags. How's that?
Last week, I picked against the 49ers. We all know how that happened. So this week, I'm definitely going with San Fran. I think they're going to get the job done.
Jets at Bengals.
Now, this one right here, I think is going to be a good game. I really do. I don't think it's going to be on too many TVs. But realistically, Cincinnati's at home. I got some faith in Cincinnati. I'm going with the Bengals.
This is one of those where I feel like I can't win because whatever I do regarding the Jets, I pick them or I pick against them, and
it never turns out right.
Yeah, it's just not working for me. But I feel like this is not a good week to roll with the Jets. Cincinnati's at home. I'm going to come back over, take a home team.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Bengals as well.
Let's get it. Who you guys taking this one? Jets, Bengals. Who you got?
Next up, we got Pittsburgh, and they're playing Oakland. Steelers, Raiders.
And there was a time when this right here would have been a
Money television
matchup.
This would have been the Monday night game.
Right now, this is going to be a sloppy night game. Sloppy afternoon game, for that matter. But, man, this one's really a lot harder for me to call than I thought it would be. Steelers came off an impressive win against Baltimore last week, but Oakland had to buy and a lot of time to prepare for those Steelers. Realistically, I want to go with the Steelers because I think they're more experienced. I think they make smarter plays, and I think they got a lot more consistency coming from the quarterback position. But I'm still going with the Raiders. They're home. Terrell Pryor, when you get a guy like that in the game, you never know what's going to happen. He can make great things happen. He can make some bad things happen. I think this week, he's going to make some great things happen.
I'm going on the road again.
Woo!
I'm going to take the Steelers here. I'm going on the road again.
I know it's going to be a couple people excited about you taking the Steelers, but really?
It hurts. I don't like the Steelers, but yeah, in Oakland, I'll take them. I like Pryor. I like some of what we've seen out of Oakland this year, but it's murky. Now that it's a whole lot better on the Pittsburgh side of the coin. Next up, we got Washington. Showed a little life last week. RG3 maybe looking a little more like the guy we saw midway through the season last year before he started winding down. But they have got a tall order on their hands playing the Denver Broncos.
They're recently defeated.
Just came off their first loss. I don't see any way you pick against the Broncos in this one. But who you got?
Man, you know I'm going to pay it, man, in the Broncos. I think that's pretty much a safe bet for the entire rest of the season, even with that loss last week.
Yeah.
I don't think that Washington's going to have that pass rush is going to be able to get to Peyton Manning the way that the Colts got to him last week. So I'm going with the Broncos. Plus, I think Peyton's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's probably bitter about that.
He's not happy.
Who would be? But realistically, I'm going with Denver. Jimmy, who you got?
Denver.
And plus, I hate the Redskins. But continue.
I'm just saying Denver wasn't hard for us. Is it hard for any of you? Let us know what you're thinking there. Next up, we got a matchup of two teams whose names, the city name, begins and ends with the letter A. There's some nice trivia for you. Store that one away. And this one for me is a tough call. Atlanta at Arizona.
Well, I like to look at this game as two teams that ain't as good as we thought they was going to be.
Nah, and one of them is far more disappointing than the other, having said that.
That's true. That's true.
But, yeah, on both counts, I think fans in both cities expected a lot more out of this.
I mean, there's a lot of questions. When is Steven Jackson going to play? Who's going to get the largest share of the snaps at running back in Atlanta? What's going on with the running game in Arizona? I'm just saying.
Lots of questions, not so many answers.
I think Arizona has a better defense.
They do.
I think Arizona's going to be home. Smart money says to go with Atlanta because typically they should be a better team.
They have a better offense.
Yeah. But, man, I think I'm going Arizona, man.
It's not fun to pick Arizona.
It's not.
It leaves you with a bad feeling. But
they're selling tickets for $5 to come see that game. Jimmy, who you got?
I'm going with the Cardinals as well, but I don't feel any better about it than you do.
Man, I just hope that Steven Jackson comes back soon.
It'd be nice. I have my fantasy team. My running backs are Steven Jackson and C.J. Spiller. So
those are some great picks.
Yeah. I call C.J. Spiller, like some guys have nicknames. My fantasy nickname for C.J. Spiller is the Pulse. That's all he does for my team. It's not dead. He's giving us a heartbeat, but it's faint. So we both picked the Cardinals. We don't really like it, but you do what you have to.
I'm sure a lot of you guys might disagree with that one. Let us know. At Don't Be Like Ryan, at Jimmy B. Dan.
Green Bay at Minnesota.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. Man, after last week watching Freeman,
it's rough.
Oh, man. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think the Freeman experiment is going to pan out in Minnesota. But after last week, I know it's going to take more than a couple weeks for that to turn dividends. Pay dividends for the Minnesota Vikings. This week, I'm going with Green Bay, and I hope they wear those cool jerseys they had last week.
These are hideous. This is a big game for Aaron Rodgers. He's going to go off. The Vikings do not stand a chance.
And then on
Sunday night game, that's a terrible Sunday night game.
I mean, that is, but it couldn't be no worse than Monday night's game.
I'll enjoy that one a lot more.
I mean, at least we're going to get offense from one side of the ball, or stellar offense from one side of the ball.
You're going to get one Monday night.
Yeah.
You just got to shift from that great quarterback slinging it to a really good quarterback and a beast at running back, shrugging off St. Louis Rams left and right.
All right.
Yeah, the St. Louis Rams are hosting the Seattle Seahawks.
Let me let you guys know, in case you didn't get the message.
They got it. I heard.
He's a Seahawks fan. He thinks they're going to win every game. He thinks it's going to be a blowout.
This year, I've always been a very candid fan.
Yeah?
If we'd done this show 2 years ago, I would have been a lot more humble in my picks, I promise you.
I'm not.
TJ, yeah. I believed, but I believed with the ceiling. This year, all bets are off. The Monday night game is not going to be close. I don't know what's going on for the Rams at quarterback.
Me neither. I'm hoping it's Tebow.
Not going to happen. Too much baggage. The Seahawks win big. I'm going to say the Seahawks win this game by 2 touchdowns plus. It's going to be a nasty one.
2 touchdowns plus.
2 touchdowns plus.
I'm going 30.
30?
I mean, who the heck is going to come out for quarterback for unless they get Tebow tomorrow?
They have weapons, though. If whoever comes out there can advance the ball, even if it's garbage, they should do something because they have some weapons on offense.
And one of them is Zach Stacy, a guy I just picked up in one of my fantasy leagues, who's a really good back. He's producing some additional points for us because that's one thing one of my teams have been lacking is points from the running back position. So if you guys out there want to find a steal and you got Zach Stacy somewhere down there in your waiver wire, pick him on up.
Can't be any worse than Daryl Richardson. I mean, I drafted Daryl Richardson. I handcuffed him with Isaiah Pete. I handcuffed Daryl Richardson.
To be fair, you also drafted C.J. Spiller.
And Steven Jackson.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've made some pretty bad picks in the draft also.
I'm 5-2 though. This season I'm having. I want to say this. We veered into fantasy, but it happens.
That's good.
This season I'm having is proof that whatever skill and whatever knowledge you have going into fantasy football, there's an awful lot of luck involved. I am 5-2, and this is the worst fantasy team I've had in probably the last 5 or 6 years. And some of those teams had poor records, but this team of mine, let's just say that again. The running backs I drafted were C.J. Spiller, Steven Jackson, Daryl Richardson, and Isaiah Pete. That was my draft day lineup. It's been a tough year for me at running back, and in a 12-man league, there's not a lot of options on the waiver wire.
And we got a lot of good guys in our league. They play that waiver wire. They're really attentive, so I can't ever find anybody good out there. As soon as I find out about somebody new who had a great week, he's already gone. But I think I could top that. Now, you think your running back picks were bad. I think I picked up the Eagles quarterback because we do a total quarterback league. I got the Eagles quarterback. I got the Panthers quarterback. I had the Ravens quarterback and the Texans quarterback. Now, maybe if I would have started the Texans quarterback this past weekend, it'd look good. But all the other weeks, Matt Schaub was looking kind of terrible, and Joe Flacco is no longer on the roster. I think he's playing for somebody else in our league. But just awful guys. And I mean, for realistically, Vic's been hurt. Shaw had been playing bad, and then he got hurt. Flacco's just playing terribly, and Cam Newton is probably my safest bet. Now that's crazy.
Well, and the thing with Cam is, for the most part lately, he's been playing well, but not necessarily fantasy.
Correct.
Well.
Correct.
But the one thing, I mean, I think we should point out for the fans that, all that aside, your fantasy team put up enough points to lose to me this weekend.
And you know something? Something I knew was going to happen on the show. Sooner or later, we were going to need to address it. Jimmy's team took the dub this time, but I want my winners to know that we may be down. And on this season, we may be what? 2-6?
Yeah, 2-6.
But we are not out.
No.
2-5.
2-5.
But we are not out. Now, there's still a way we can string together the rest of this season, win after win after win, and we're going to. But I concede to Jimmy. Jimmy, you won, and I'm going to give you your props, but do remember, you better keep your words short and sweet, because we do play a second time this season.
The last game of the season.
Nice.
I'm sure that'll be brought up here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Henny.
You're watching Beers and Beards. That was Who You Got.
Who you got?